Before I had my spiritual awakening, I felt really lost and depressed, not knowing what to do with my life. But after spiritual awakening, I felt this strong calling to write. Fast forward to now, after publishing 7 books, here I am chatting with you in this video. I felt this new calling to speak. One common misconception about spiritual awakening is that once you are awakened, you just stop working. People often think that we get so content with our life that we lose our motivation to work. This is not entirely true. It really depends on what phase you are in. We tend to fluctuate between periods of doing and just being, which is really tied to the masculine and feminine energy. When we first wake up to this new way of being, it feels like we are breaking free from the old masculine structure that used to define us. Our upper chakra open up and we become more receptive to the feminine energy, the yin energy. Suddenly, we are getting all these insights from the universe, feeling more connected to our intuition and tapping into our creativity. We start to feel more free, playful, and open minded. We find ourselves less attached to that masculine way of doing things, the yang energy, which tends to be more linear, logical, structure, and focus. Some of us even feels a little bit of resistance or resentment towards those masculine systems that once keep us feeling trapped, like those 9 to 5 jobs or the money system. But here's the thing, feminine energy is a lot like water. It's flowing, fluid, and soft, which is beautiful. But if you have too much of it, you might end up feeling a bit directionless and lacking purpose in life. Many of us lose our drive and feel a little bit lost after awakening. And that's often because there's just too much of this water like energy, the feminine energy. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with taking time to just be with yourself and just connecting with your spirit. That's really important. But we also need some masculine energy to help us stay grounded and focus in a specific direction. Without this balance, it's like we're just drifting in the ocean with nothing to grab onto. You know, the biggest change I noticed in the way I work is how I used to plan everything before my spiritual awakening. I had to know the exact steps before I took any action. I was super analytical, wanting things to be linear, like I have to do this task first before moving on to the next one. I will spend a ton of time planning my daily and weekly schedule, and sometimes I even plan a month or a year in advance. This structure and linear way of doing things definitely felt more masculine. But as I move along in my spiritual journey, I noticed something interesting. I plan less and less. I'm more tapped into my feminine energy and I started listening to my intuition more. Sure, I still have a general direction of where I want to go, and I keep a rough overview of the year. But nowadays, I only spend about 15 to maybe 30 minutes planning my week compared to the hours I used to spend obsessing over every little detail. I realized that my plan is just there to help me focus and keep my mind from wandering. There are so many things that can pop up during the day which I can't control. So I'm leaving more space in my schedule. It's nice to just let things unfold by themselves and see how the universe surprises me. People often think I'm super productive or very self disciplined. Like, how do I manage to create content for both YouTube and write blog posts or even write 7 books? The truth is, I just go where my energy takes me. If I'm in the flow and feeling that momentum, I might completely skip whatever's on my schedule unless it involves someone else. I don't stick to my plan so tightly anymore, and I don't beat myself up for not following my routine. If I don't hit my goals, that's okay too. These days, it's all about going with the flow because I learned that following the energy is way more important than sticking to a rigid schedule. So, how do I follow my energy throughout the day? I noticed the subtle shift between my feminine and masculine energy. When my feminine energy kicks in, I find it difficult to focus anymore. I know it is time for me to relax and just be open to whatever inspiration that is coming my way. I might just lie on the bed with a pencil and paper, jotting down whatever pops up into my mind. Sometimes I'll just take a walk or look outside the window to let the ideas flow. Then after a while, the masculine energy might take over. That's when I'll be like, all right, let's gather all this insight and organize them into a clear script. I sit in front of my computer and just type everything out so that it makes sense and organize the insights. So when it's time for me to record the video, it will sound more coherent and not be all over the place. The masculine and feminine energy are always working together. It's about knowing when to push forward and get things done and when to just chill and be in the moment. But what happens if you don't go with the natural flow of energy? For example, when my feminine energy is strong and I really feel like I need to take a break, and if I just push myself to finish that script, trust me, no words will come out. There will be zero insight. No matter how much I think or analyze, even if I just sit there for 2 to 3 hours, nothing will come out. On the flip side, if my masculine energy is on fire and I'm procrastinating, telling myself, it seems like a lot of work, I just want to rest now, I don't want to work, that can backfire because once the masculine energies fade away, suddenly I don't feel like doing anything and getting started becomes much harder. So it's super important to tune into your energy. When you do this, you can ride the wave and be more productive. But this cycle of feminine and masculine energy doesn't just happen during the day. It also plays a big role in your spiritual journey. Maybe you have been in a job you like for years, and then suddenly it just doesn't excite you anymore. You might start feeling a bit down or depressed, like things are not going your way. If you are experiencing this, it may be time to pivot. The universe is not punishing you by making things tough for you. What's really happening is that your feminine energy is getting stronger. You're becoming more in touch with your emotion and your desires. And your soul is nudging you to switch things up, to go with the flow of your life. Movement is a key aspect of feminine energy. So when you're in the cycle of feminine energy, you want to go with the movement that your feminine energy brings you. If you just keep leaning into your masculine energy and focus on the work that doesn't resonate with your soul, you might find yourself feeling very stuck. The longer you stay in your job, the more miserable you will be. Because right now, when you are in a feminine energy cycle, it's important to ride that wave until your masculine energy returns, until you have a new direction and focus. When you are in the feminine cycle, it's all about exploring and discovery. You don't worry too much about your purpose. And you will go through this cycle multiple times in your spiritual journey. In my case, for a period of time, I'm just writing books and blog posts, and it was wonderful. I was getting traffic from Google, and my books were selling. Then Google had an update, and my website traffic decreased quite a bit. At that time, I could, focus more on writing blog posts, improving my website and all that, but I didn't. When my traffic had a slight rebound, I heard my inner voice telling me it's time to pivot. It's time to start a YouTube channel. It's time to share your insight verbally. And I did. And I'm very glad that I listened to my intuition and got a head start because the traffic crashed completely soon after. And it's still going down right now. And it's not just my website, many other bloggers are also affected. It's as though my intuition was warning me the boat is going to sink. You better take the other boat, you better jump to the other boat. I could have tried to use my masculine energy and focus all my effort on saving my website and just push forward. But instead, I just follow the natural wave of my energy, my feminine energy, and just flow to the next venture. You need to know when to let go and pivot. Otherwise, you'll get stuck in the sinking boat. This is what the spiritual community commonly refers to as the dark night of the soul. If you're currently experiencing a shift in your energy and you don't know what to do, watch this next video on how to rebuild your life after spiritual awakening.